God doesn't come back and say, now that you started misbehaving, let us retrieve that which has been given to you. Good morning, you're welcome to Daily Dose. On this episode, I bring you a word from the Lord, 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 9. It goes, do not pay evil with evil or cursing with cursing. Instead, pay back with a blessing, because a blessing is what God promised to give you when he called you. Now, there's no other person who is perfect to speak about this subject other than Apostle Peter. Jesus had an encounter with him, and he said, you're going to deny me 3 times before the cock crows. And then he says, when you are converted, he says, go and strengthen the brethren. You will see that is about that mission now. Because if Jesus never repaid that evil for evil, then he had that first-hand experience on that same subject. So when he says, do not pay evil for evil, do not pay cursing for cursing, he said that because what God promised you is a blessing, is strictly a blessing. God doesn't reverse. Even God, when he does anything, that's why he says the gift of God is without repentance. God doesn't come back and say, now that you started misbehaving, let us retrieve that which has been given to you. You will see in the likes of Solomon, God never had any situation. Even when Solomon heard, he had given him the wisdom, even if the wisdom is corrupted and he started going into other women and then, started importing gods that God never approved of and all of those things. That particular situation is almost irreversible because God had given his blessing. So the dictates of God and the way God behaves, or the way and manner in which he acts, is this, that his gifts are without repentance. And so he says, do not do any of these things. Don't do evil for evil. So when you get into those positions, even if you don't know the final outcome of this particular conversation, once you do anything, and we're in an era where people are going out with other people, and at the point where they break up, they go and collect every single thing that they've ever given back. It's not only childish, it is ungodly. This is what the enemy does. There is a way and a manner in which enemy behaves. Whatsoever it is you have with him in transaction, he will collect. Even if you fulfill your own part of the bargain, he still will collect much more than he has given to you. And so we must understand that, are we on the side of God or are we on the side of the enemy? And that's why Apostle Peter put here, he said, when he called you, he gave you a promise. Those promises are things that are sacrosanct. He will never at no point in time retrieve those things back from you. And so when you are in relationship with people, and most of our practices are in relations with people, we don't do Christianity as a standalone. We do Christianity in line with other people. So when we are in relationship with people, all of these conversations will be tested. And they are not just mere instructions, they are instructions with benefits. There are benefits accruing to those things. In fact, in another place, it says, vengeance is of the Lord. It says, I will repay. Don't bother yourself, even when people do you any wrong. When you hear about your name being spoken of in evil, don't try to defend yourself. You must have that understanding. Somebody says, if I don't say what is on my mind, you will not rest. You can win, all right, the battle and lose the war. And this is where God is bringing us into, where don't defend yourself. There are places in which God himself will take you to, and he will speak to people on your behalf. You will not have anything to do with the matter, and you will be completely vindicated in that particular situation. And it's important we begin to heed to the instruction of Jesus Christ and begin to follow that pattern. And this is why we are called disciples. I hope this has helped you this morning. Until tomorrow, when I bring you another word on another episode of the Daily Dose, keep liking, keep sharing, and subscribe if you haven't. God bless you.